Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video, my friends, I'm going to be testing Radeon RX 6600 GPU paired with the Ryzen 5 3600 and 24GB of DDR4 3200MHz RAM in Spiderman 2. Now as you can see the settings here, we are going to be first starting from 1080p resolution, 1080p native resolution. FSR 3.1 AA is enabled in graphics settings. I'm using medium settings preset because this game is really intensive, or it's very bad optimization. We're gonna find out today. Let's continue the game and let's see how it performs. Alrighty guys, so as soon as we entered the game, you can see the performance right there is in the 50s. Even at medium settings, the game is really intensive. It looks good also, but at medium settings, in my opinion, the last game looks kind of the same. Okay. They have not changed anything texture wise and stuff, in my opinion, in the new part, in the new version, or the new Spider-Man 2 compared to the Amazing Spider-Man remastered. But yeah, there are some new ray tracing settings and stuff which we're not going to be even using. But the game kind of has issues with stuttering, and frame time graph and stuff is very jagged most of the times, while inside some areas like the underground areas and stuff like that, places like that, you get good performance. But when you're when you're out swinging in the city or flying around, frame rate usually lags a lot. On medium settings, I'm not finding much issues though right now. We are maxed out in terms of our VRAM usage, as you can see right there, 8.1 gigabytes, which is above our VRAM actually. So it is getting VRAM cramped right now. Although our FPS is 54 FPS average, and there are not much issues with respect to the performance which I'm seeing or observing right now. Medium settings also kind of look very good, and our CPU, which is a Ryzen 5 3600 in this case, is not performing very well in this game, guys. This game has on Steam, I think it says you need a Ryzen 5 3600, which was a very good CPU if you ask me. Oh, we got a huge stutter there. If you ask me a little bit like last year and stuff, but this year, like although in previous Spider-Man games also, I saw that this game, this engine doesn't have very good performance on this CPU. Yeah, which is really weird because this CPU has 6 cores and 12 threads and still has very bad performance. So our GPU usage is at 90%. It's showing 90%, but we are not getting very good power consumption from the GPU, which is also a signature, a sign of your GPU being underutilized. Okay, so if you've got a better CPU, you're gonna get better performance coming from this GPU. If you've got like i5 12600K or a Ryzen 7000 series 7600 or something like that, yeah, it's gonna perform better, I think. So let's stop right here. We're getting 52 FPS average, which is nice, and as soon as I stop like swinging, our FPS increases a lot. Okay, which we don't do usually in this game. This is an very action-oriented game, and you're gonna get a lot of movement on the screen, which is a must in Spider-Man games, you know. So let's go ahead now and let's enable FSR 3.1 AA. Looks really kind of nice in this game. I'm gonna enable FSR 3.1 on quality, and let's see how we perform here. Okay, while sitting here and doing nothing, we got some performance improvements, but I'm gonna restart the game, guys, because I don't think we're getting the full performance improvements which we're gonna be getting right here. So let me restart the game and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, we are back. I restarted the game with FSR 3.1 on quality enabled here. As you can see right here, FSR 3.1 on quality is enabled, and the rest of the settings are the same. I'm at medium settings preset, so let's go right into the game Let's start counting the frames here and let's fly around. Alright, so with FSR 3.1 on quality, I'm seeing smoother frame time graph still. There are not much issues. Our VRAM usage is kind of the same, not much difference there also. But when I'm flying around with FSR 3.1 on quality, I'm observing around our character we still get a lot of ghosting, although it's lower than the previous games. In the Amazing Spider-Man, where we had FSR 2, I think the ghosting was a lot. So while swinging around, it didn't look very good compared to this. Although I cannot say the same for our FPS. I cannot observe much improvements compared to the last time. Maybe we're getting fully VRAM bound right now. Our VRAM usage is at 8 gigabytes. Also, this game is a CPU hog, so if you've got a Ryzen 5 3600 and an RX 6600, you're gonna get some type of GPU bottleneck, okay? Which I'm observing right here. Our CPU usage is at 80%, guys. 80% CPU usage, and I'm not getting more than 75% GPU usage right here. That is very balanced, if you ask me. Like, in every system there is gonna be a bottleneck, either on the CPU or GPU side. But if we get some CPU overhead reduced in the game and they try to improve the game a little bit more, it would be nice. Because I think most of the people in the world have Ryzen 5 3600, because this is a very good CPU. This was a very good CPU, if you ask me. And Core i5 12600K, if you got that CPU, I think it performs better than this one. So you're gonna be better at this in the performance in this game. Yeah, but this game is enjoyable, very enjoyable game, guys. If you're not still playing the game, I would recommend you guys to get it, because I've been enjoying it a lot. Yeah. So right now 61 FPS. Previously I think we were in the 50s. We were in the 50s. Now we're in the 60s. Not more than 60 FPS all of the times, but most of the times we are in the 60 FPS. Now let's go ahead and enable frame generation. I'll be right back with you. Alrighty guys, frame generation has been enabled, and as you can see, the frame rate right there is really amazing, like the Amazing Spider-Man. But you can see the frame rate there, but I can also observe some issues with our image quality. Okay, there are some issues, not a lot, but there are some issues now with the image quality. FSR 3.1 look kind of good, it's bearable. There are still ghosting issues with FSR 3.1 at quality, but as when I'm trying to move from these trees, I cannot, it's really blurry. Okay, so these are some issues with FSR 3.1 which I'm observing in this game. All the FSR 3.1 in other games has been showing a lot of strengths, but in this game I'm observing that the implementation is not very good. Maybe because of fast movement and some vegetation and stuff is not rendering very well. Yeah, so but our performance, as you can see right here, is really nice. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys. I'm gonna be moving through the settings faster, because I don't want to be here for an hour and boring you guys, okay, with the benchmarking and stuff. So let's go ahead and go to low settings now, and I'll be right back after restarting the game. Alrighty guys, I am back, and I lied to you guys. I've actually change the settings to 1080p, 144 Hz, no frame generation or upscaling, but we're at very low settings preset. This is the lowest we can go in this game, very low settings preset. There are still some settings which I think we can go lower, but I'm going to be trying first these settings, and let's see if we get some improvements in the performance while swinging around, because our CPU is going to be one of the issues with the system specs. But I think with these settings we are going to get 60 FPS most of the times. Okay, let's go back here, try to go up here, and try to fly around in this area. This is native resolution, guys, so previously we had to use FSR to get this frame rate. Now we are getting this frame rate with only native resolution. Don't get me wrong, very low settings are very low settings, okay? They don't have much to show on the screen. That was a huge stutter, and we got a stutter again. It's like yeah, these settings don't look very good, but you know, if you want to get good performance in this game, I think this is the way to go. Yeah. Alright guys, so we got 57 FPS average. We got some stutters, which is an issue with this game. Many people with the rigs, amazing rigs, are getting the same kind of issues with the stutters. So yeah, nothing can be done about it. But they have to patch the game somehow. Yeah, they have to patch the game and fix these stutters first, in my opinion, and then go with other stuff. So yeah, the game is above 60 FPS and 60 FPS average at very low settings. Let's try to see now with FSR 3.1 and quality what kind of performance do we get. Let's go here. Let's try to apply FSR 3.1 on quality here. Alrighty guys, I am back into the game now after restarting, and I don't see much improvements with respect to performance, but I think we will get less stutters when we restart the game. Okay, let's start counting the frames here. Yeah, so the game is a very good CPU hog. If you want to destroy your CPU, you're gonna have to play this game. As I am observing right here, my VRAM usage is also like at 8 gigabytes, even though we are using very low settings. This game also has a memory leak issue, I think, and even though I'm restarting the game, it's still creeping up at like 8 gigabyte VRAM usage most of the times, and we're using 2.22 gigabytes of RAM. You know? Oh my god. I think view distance is also very low. We're getting some pop-in happening in front of us a lot. But our performance is like in the 60s now most of the time, so that is nice. Even though we're getting a very hefty like CPU usage here, like 85% CPU usage, guys. If you got a better CPU, let me remind you again, you're gonna get better performance with this GPU. Okay, so, and a huge stutter here. Wow. The game stutters a lot, guys. They have to fix this issue. I don't know when they're gonna do this. Probably when after I record this video, they're gonna give an update to fix the stuttering issues in this game. Many people who are using rigs like RTX 1590 and Ryzen 9 9800 S3D stuff, they're still getting the same issues. They're getting stutters in their game. So yeah, this is not very specifically on this rig only. This is on many other people's systems. The same is happening. Okay. So now let's go ahead and enable frame generation. I just want to see if you can hit like 120, more than 120 FPS most of the times or not. I think this can happen, but oh my god, very smooth, guys. This is a 144 Hz monitor now. This looks very, very smooth now. 120, 107, still dropping into the hundreds, but now it's more than 100 most of the times, which is nice. Even though we're getting very good performance, but still the graphics settings and stuff don't look very good. Graphics don't look very good, if you ask me. Yeah. They need to fix the performance somehow, like reduce the CPU overhead in this game. This game is a very good CPU hog. It doesn't let GPUs perform very well. So if they reduce the CPU overhead, I think we can get better performance. yeah, as you can see, as soon as we get GPU bound in the forest or in the park area, you get some GPU bound scenarios, so you get better performance. So if you got a better CPU like a Ryzen 9000 series or a Ryzen 7000 series, you're gonna get better performance, in my opinion. Alright, so let's go ahead now, and I don't want to use low settings because there's not gonna be much for difference. I'm gonna go to high settings now, okay, and I'll be right back after restarting the game. Alrighty guys, so I've gone ahead and restarted the game and applied high settings preset right here, 1080p, and I'm not using any FSR2 or frame generation or FSR3 or frame generation here. I'm using high settings preset. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the game, how it performs. Now at first look, I was seeing like 30 FPS, and I'm still looking at 30 FPS here, so which is not very nice. I'm gonna be seeing if I can actually fix. Oh, that was a huge stir. So I'm gonna be seeing if I can actually fix this lower setting issue here. Okay, as soon as I move the camera around, the game stutters a lot. So it looks like we are getting totally VRAM bound, guys. We're at 8 gigabytes again, but we're at 22 gigabytes of RAM usage also, which reminds me that this game has an issue with memory leaks and stuff. I don't know what this lady is saying. Alright guys, as you can see right here, our performance is dropping from the 30s also, and most of the times in the 40s when you are not getting huge stars. Okay, so this is not very playable, I would say. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply FSR3 here. Alrighty guys, so I've applied FSR3 right here, and as you can see now, the performance kind of looks a little bit higher than before. With FSR 3.1 AA, we were not getting this kind of performance. We were dropping from 30 FPS, which I want to see here, that if we do drop from 30 FPS, then there is no use trying to use FSR 3.1 on quality, but seems like we are not dropping. Let's go ahead and start counting the frames again. Let's go to the forest area. Oh, we dropped from 30, guys. We just dropped from 30. Oh my god, a huge stutter again. Let's see if we drop from 30 again. 38 FPS. We are getting some stutters, which is gonna happen until they fix it. I don't know when they're gonna get us a patch that's gonna fix the stuttering in this game. Yeah, look at the frame time graph. It's not very good. Now, I've seen some videos of some guys playing the game, and as soon as they enable frame generation, that actually fixes this stuttering issue. Now I've seen I think Z-Worms Gaming, he's done a benchmark on an RTX 5090. I think you guys should check it out. On an RTX 5090 even, the game has issues with frame pacing and stuttering. So yeah. Now we're totally VRAM bound here. Our VRAM is totally pegged at 8 gigabytes, so that's why we're getting these huge stutters. So yeah, I think if you guys want to play at high settings, I think you should try to use low textures, but low textures in this game don't look very good in my opinion. And yeah, I would play at like medium textures at least. So medium settings is the way to go for me, I think, in this game at 1080p. That gives you good frame rate and also gives you good visual quality on this GPU. So let's go ahead now and let's enable frame generation here, and let's see how it does here. Alright guys, frame generation is enabled. I've not restarted the game yet, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but we are getting 100 FPS. Now I want to see if we get a lot of drops or not. Our VRAM usage is at 7.8 gigabytes. It's slowly creeping up again. It's gonna go back to, I think, being at 8 gigabytes peg. So texture quality is gonna be dropped, and then we can observe good frame rates. I'm not getting very bad input lag even at 80-90 FPS with frame generation. I think they've designed the game with frame generation in mind, guys, just to fix the stutters and to get good performance. So yeah, 90% CPU usage, guys. Oh my god, with frame generation it increases your CPU usage at 90%. Oh my god, this game is very CPU intensive, guys. This is a new for me, seeing my CPU at 90%. So if you guys got a better CPU, I think you're gonna get better performance in this game for sure. We're back into the park area, and still with frame generation we're getting 70 FPS. I'm not observing much input lag, guys. I'm very susceptible to it, but in this game I'm not observing much input lag. I don't know if even if frame generation is working or not. Yeah, I can see the differences in the image quality at least with the frame generation, but I cannot observe much input lag even though we're at 70 FPS. And in other games, I would say, like first person games, I'd observe it like in like 5 seconds. Textures being popped, being swapped from RAM and then VRAM is causing the game to load again and again. So yeah, so I think there's no point going higher in the settings on this GPU, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you, bye bye.